Yo, 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 yo.
Yeah. We back. We in the building.
What's good, dog?
You know what I mean? I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed, yo. It's nice outside today. It's nice outside. What's the temperature like in the A, man? What's it like?
Let me check. I think it is. Let's see. Oh, it's 58 degrees.
Oh, for real? Oh, y'all lit.
Wait, how it feel down there?
Oh, it's 51. It's 51 right here.
That's not bad.
You know
That's
what
not
I'm
bad.
saying?
That's really good, though. That's really good.
Last night it was 35 degrees. I was out there smoking outside like, oh, this is horrible. But anyway, I'm back. We back in the building. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be living. Everything is going great. You know, March is my birthday month, so you know we about to turn up.
Every season
Will be in full effect. Right now, we celebrating the Pisces. So if you're a Pisces, you know what I mean, drop some fire emojis in the comments. You know what I mean? Let's see how it is. Let's see how it is. So what's been going on, brother? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm not gonna lie. The weekend goes by too fast. It is insane.
1,000% agree with you on that. It is going. I get no time to enjoy nothing no more.
Especially when you have something to do on Saturday. Like, when you have something to do on Saturday, it's insane, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say.
Man, I had to clean up earlier. I got the laundry in the laundry machine, and I'm trying to throw something on the stove to cook later on. So I mean, and look, I got this show to do, and I got another show at 6:00. So like, you know what I mean? Just keep getting it all done.
You and me both, bro. I got to do this, and then right after at 3:00, I got something. So
you about to be lit though. You about to be lit, and you got the comfort of the crib. You get to work out of your crib too today.
Yeah, facts. The setup is cool too.
So are y'all still at that table, or did you move to a different space?
So we gonna be in the living room now. Yeah, so we it's dope. It's a dope setup. I wish you had an iPhone so I can show you, but I mean you don't have an iPhone, so.
Yo, you wanna stop taking shots at these Android gang, man? This is Android gang.
No, you know the crazy thing about it is Android might have better phones.
We ain't gotta talk to them about it. We ain't gotta do that. No, keep repping where you at today. All right, so let's get this going.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? Because like I want your perspective on this. Chris Brown makes a statement pertaining to, like, honestly, he really wasn't even really coming at Blueface. Blueface was just an example that he used in a statement. He said, hey, for 17 years, y'all been on my head about an incident between me and Rihanna, who was my girlfriend at the time, and we were very, very young. They were either in their late teens or their early 20s. They were definitely not past 21, 22 years old. They were young. There was an incident. They both got into a fight. And I'm only detailing this out because a lot of people don't remember. Okay? So there was a fight in their car, in their luxury vehicle. She punched him. He punched her. She got a black eye. She got out of the car. And you know what I'm saying? There was a fury of pictures, images, and then
But she punching him got released late, super late.
Right. So, you know what I mean? He had to go on the apology campaign and really has been, I'm not going to say blacklisted, but he has had to deal with that as a blemish on his life ever since.
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
And we're talking about 17 years. People are still bringing it up on a daily basis like it was something that he did yesterday. So, out of frustration, he makes a statement. How is it that you guys can be upset with me because of something that happened 17 years ago. Y'all cannot let this go. But somebody like Blueface and Krishan can punch each other on video. They have fights, physically hurting each other multiple times. And not only are you guys not holding them to the same standard that you're holding me, but you're celebrating them. You're watching it. Y'all are supporting. Y'all are going out to events. Y'all are all up in the comment section. Nobody's holding it against Blueface. Blueface makes his statements. I really don't want to focus on that. But I want to focus on this. Do you feel like there should be a point where we should let it go when it comes down to Chris Brown?
But before you even focus on that, hold up. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead.
What is considered snitching at this point?
No, don't put that on Chris Brown.
No, I'm just saying, like, first of all, as not even snitching, I feel like as men, right, it's certain things we do and do not do. Even though I understand his plight, I understand his argument, I understand his frustration, I'm with him 100%, but it is another part to this, right? As a man, right, accountability, well, I don't even want to say accountability. I just know as a man, we supposed to own what we do and nothing else, right? So if you say there's examples of other people, maybe I can understand that. But name dropping is kind of like clout chasing almost, honestly. Not saying he was clout chasing. He don't need no clout to chase anything like that. But it's like the fact that you dropping other names, like, come on, bro, you know better than that. You feel me? Like, you Chris Brown.
I feel like that's being petty because I feel like bringing up Blueface was him giving an active example of how people are not holding him to the same. People are not holding Blueface's foot to the fire and trying to cancel him the same way people are actively trying to cancel Chris Brown. And we're talking about 17 years later. They wouldn't bring him on the Grammys this year, and they wouldn't allow him to do the Michael Jackson tribute last year because of something from 17 years ago. Come on.
I mean, I feel you, but I just feel like in these moments, when we talk about the superstars, I said the same thing about Nicki Minaj. When we talk about superstars, right, it's certain things that you just don't respond to. It just is what it is. Okay. It comes with the territory. We see Beyonce. Everybody wish Beyonce would say something, but it's like that's what separates her from everybody else. You get what I'm saying? When things go on, she allow them to go on. Chris Brown, you continue to play into it. You get what I'm saying? So the fact that you keep playing into it, it shows that you're bothered by it. And I'm not taking away my empathy. This is another point to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I understand what he's saying. Matter of fact, I can't even understand. I couldn't even picture to imagine how that feel. But you being Chris Brown, all I'm saying is, there's a way to go about it. You say, it's examples out here to this day. We would have did it for you. The fans and the people would have did it for you. We would have let us point out Krishan and Blueface. You don't do that. You get what I'm saying? It's examples out here right now where y'all celebrating the BS. But when I was going through it, people made fun of me. People tried to cancel me. You get what I'm saying? I feel like dropping the names. It's like, bro, come on, man. We better than that. As men, if I was his friend, I'd be like, bro, come on, dog. You better than that. And then you start posting everybody that had something going on. Come on, bro. Listen,
from that perspective, I can agree. If you start posting other people and you going on and on and on about something, I agree with that. However, I really feel like in this particular scenario, there's a double standard between what they're accepting, what the public is saying is cool between Blueface and Krishan, and what he's doing. Now, I want to bring up something. Shout out to Destiny Hughes, who dropped the comment. Please, y'all can comment, be a part of this conversation. She said Chris Brown has a long history of violence after Rihanna. Carucci has a restraining order against him because he was also violent towards her. No one wants to talk about that part. Well, we didn't know about that part because that wasn't a huge conversation. But now, if you're telling me, Destiny, that this is something that's been ongoing in multiple cases, then all right, then we get it. But I heard that him and Carucci had issues, but I thought it wasn't about physical abuse. I thought it was because he kept popping up on her and being like, I want you back.
That's still type abusive though. If somebody say leave me alone, leave me the hell alone. It's still abuse, honestly. And I'm not trying to be that guy, but it is what it is, bro. It's like, somebody says down now, you got a problem with accepting boundaries. You get what I'm saying? Like now you gotta accept people boundaries because you would want somebody to accept yours. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm not trying to make this about a Chris Brown thing in general. Like let's break it down in general. Right. At the end of the day, do I think, going back to your original point, do I think it's a double standard? Of course. But that's life in general. Think about it. Things that's okay today was never okay last years ago. We're on the internet, for God's sakes. We got gangsters on the internet, and they real life gangsters. We got real life killers on the internet. That was never a thing back in the day. And you can't. I talk about this all the time. You ain't about to just show up on the internet and be like, yo, these niggas ain't about that. Yes, they are. They just on the internet. They really about that. They just think about it though. It's a differentiation, or it's a big difference of the today and yesterday. Right now, just the men, not just the women, everything. Right. Back in the day, it was frowned upon to do so many other things. So yeah, it's a disconnect. Right. Gossip sells, and as long as we got the internet, it might do so. It might switch, you know what I'm saying, to more positive stuff, but we don't know. But as of now, gossip and negativity sells. Shit, the shade room sells. Think about it. All the toxicity that they sell, people pay thousands of dollars to get posted on the shade room because they know of the platform. So it don't matter what they say. Bad publicity is good publicity. Bad publicity is better than no publicity.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what they say.
Publicity.
Right. So it's like, bro, we got people selling their souls for clout. So it's unfortunate, but times do change. Think about, we had this conversation on our podcast before. On Y'all Might Not Like This podcast. We were talking about, like, back in the day, it was old heads talking about, yo, if she old enough to cross street, she old enough to get hit. That's crazy. Nowadays you wouldn't even, bro. Nowadays you would damn near go to jail if you say something like that. But that's was a fact, bro. Even back in the day, we talked about this last time. Think about it. So many girls are like, man, I can't have no weak man. If I tell him no, he got to know to keep going. You know what I'm saying? That these used to be things. So yeah, it changed, and it's unfortunate that he had to be a part of that change. But sometimes that's how it be, and that's life, and that's unfortunate. But it's like, bro, as much as we can understand, you don't win the public opinion over by going on rants like this. I'm sorry, it's just you don't win nothing. Like, you don't get nothing from it.
That's a very valid point. That's a very valid. Now we're gonna move on. Because we got a bunch of stuff we want to cover. Vogue magazine cover just came out. Now somebody took this. I did not do this, and neither did Jay Hill. So before we go on, he had nothing to do with this. I had nothing.
You got the original?
I can grab the original and bring it out there. So like this, pretty much breakdown shows how in this image, how she looks more strong, looks more dominant, looks more masculine, and he looks more nurturing, submissive, and that henceforth feminine. What was your Rihanna? What was
Can you
your
put it back
opinion
up
on it? Yeah, got you. And I'm looking for the other one while you dropping your comments.
You know, the crazy thing about this, bro, is I didn't even think about none of this that was written down. I hear these theories time and time again about the what's the word? The emancipation. What is it? What is it?
The emasculation.
The emasculation of our black men today. So I hear it, right? But I never understood it because it didn't resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? When I first saw this image, the first thing I thought, right? The first thing I thought was like, yo, this is dope. Here you got A$AP Rocky in the back, letting his woman lead, right? Letting his woman be in front. Because a lot of things that we don't speak about to this day is in a marriage or in a two-parent household or just a relationship period, let's be honest. On the surface, it might seem like the men make all the rules, but it don't work like that. I'm in a relationship, I'll let you know. And it's so many times where I lean back and ask my girl, like, yo, babe, what you think I should do about this? So even though the world might not see that she's making the decisions, most likely my woman is making the decisions, right? Another thing I say, even in this image, when I look at the image, when I'm outside, I let my woman walk in front of me. Why? So I can see everything. I make sure my child walk in front of me. I make sure my woman walk in front of me so I can make sure I got that back so I can see what's in front. And if anything come from behind me, I can take on that first, right? So that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, yo, this is dope, right? I recognize with this. But then when I see like they saying he's put the other picture back up, saying like it's like she's masculine and things like that. I'm like, I don't soft face, submissive, nurturing, feminine man. I ain't get that, but I don't know. I really can't understand this. What do you think? Did you have maybe your opinion? Help me out.
All right. Okay. So images have, like, every image can be taken a certain way, and it's not necessarily that the magazine meant to do that to emasculate A$AP. Let me clear Vogue of that. I think Vogue was just doing something dope. They took a great photo, and we've all been in. Well, you and I've been in photo shoots. They snapped thousands of photos, and a lot of different stuff is going on. They probably saw that and was like, "This looks beautiful. This looks amazing. Let's put it out." Right. However, the offshoot of that is that we as human beings are always analyzing things and breaking things down because of our obsession with putting our celebrities on pedestals.
Right.
So it's already been an issue because Rihanna became a billionaire and then she fell in love with A$AP. So people are hating because A$AP is with somebody that everybody is coveting, men and women. So that's number one. So now we're trying to find a way to bring him down to our level. So you got so many people that are going to try to find any little piece that they can say, see, he ain't that dude. See, he's soft. He that's the only reason why she want him is because he going to da-da-da-da-da. If you know anything about A$AP Rocky, he ain't a soft dude.
But wait, what if he is soft though? Like, what does that mean? Like,
meaning that okay. Let me clarify. When I say soft, we're all soft with our women. When we are in our relationships behind closed doors, we are not going to be the same person we put out to the public. Well, what people are saying is soft, meaning that he allows people to push him around in the streets, or that he doesn't have the ability to stand up and be a leader or be the forefront of the relationship.
so I think when I hear soft, because I've just being honest, I just had a conversation with Sade about this. We see this new image of the soft man, right? And although it's not my thing, however, I think it should be an example out there, because I feel like I love, honestly, because I don't do it, I love seeing the videos of dudes getting up, self-care, doing their little facial, and I don't know, they be making all them type of videos, right? It's not my thing. But I like seeing it because it might show me how to do some things that I never was into. You know what I'm saying? One, so it's some education behind it. Two, I think it shows that men can be this way. Men can be more I don't want to say clean. You know what I'm saying? They can be more intentional about their healthcare and more intentional about their lifestyle, and that's okay. Although that might not be me. So when I hear soft, I'm like, yo, why y'all get so intimidated from different? If I see a gay man walking in the street, I'm like, yo, if anything, I salute you for wearing who you are on your sleeve and being bold in it, right? I put a knock on a nigga who undercover. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why? Just because something is the opposite or is different, people get offended by it. It's like, bro, I think that's the most insecure thing ever. So even if it was outside of being a pushover, even if it was him just being a soft man, it's like, so what? Why do y'all care so much? It's like people are weird.
Well, because they want to. I feel like a part of the argument was proving that women have to get men that are submissive if they're in a power position. Because she's a billionaire, she can't now be with a strong guy or whatever. And I feel like that's corny. I feel like the whole discussion around them is corny right now. Just celebrate the fact that this man is here with his children, that he's loving his woman, that they're in a committed relationship, and that they're doing something that you've never seen before, because both of them are still young.
Bro,
so,
let me say this, bro. For everybody that might watch this or rewatch this after we post it, bro, in a relationship is not no one way of life. That's just in general. You gotta adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like my friend, my fraternity, shout out to my guys. They was like, yo, he made up this thing called shout out my man Tyree. He's like, yo, adapt or retire. Basically, like you either adapt with the times or you just quit it, because the only thing consistent in life is what is it? The shit that changed. The only thing that's consistent in life is change.
It's change.
You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, and it's inevitable. So it's like, bro, when you go into these relationships thinking it's supposed to be one way, if you don't adapt with the times, you done. You're finito. You feel me? So I feel like I say all that to say, in relationships, yo, you're gonna have to understand it's gonna be some pull, some give, some tug and some pull. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some give and some pull. And what I mean by that is, sometimes I gotta be submissive. What does that mean? Sometimes I gotta fall back and take the back burner and take a step back from being so masculine. I gotta let my woman lead. Sometimes I gotta listen to her. Sometimes I gotta be like, you know what? You make the decision. And then there's other times where I'm stepping up to the plate and making the decisions. But just because it's a time where I'm not making the decisions and I'm not the big bad wolf, what does that mean? If you look at lions, the lioness is the one that catch the food. What are we talking about? So it's like, I just feel like people got this imaginary fairy tale in their head of what life should be and what relationships should be, and that's where we go wrong. It's like, yo, like you said, get out of these people business. Let them mind their rich business. First of all, we peasants, we shouldn't even have an opinion on this. We too broke for this.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Like, what are we talking about, bro?
So I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. All right, he meant to say women. The black woman was always more dominant. Remember, men came home from work and gave them their check, and the women ran the household and made all of the decisions. Yeah, that's not how it happened in my household, but all right, I get it.
That used to be a thing. Remember Fences? You watched the movie Fences?
Nah.
You ain't watched Fences with Denzel Washington?
Hell no, I didn't want to see that. That's a crazy movie. So anyway, simply put, this was Rihanna's photo shoot. Her man let her have the floor as he should have. I agree with that. I agree. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on to the next thing, man. Controlling your emotions. I got a nice little video clip I want to run by y'all. So let's all take this.
I never wanted to be the parent that told my son not to cry because he's a boy. So I taught and practiced meditation with him. I wanted him to understand his emotions and be able to calm his mind. It took a few tries and a lot of patience on both ends, but he got it at an early age. Now at 4 years old, he meditates daily on his own and reminds me that I should too when I'm having a bad day. He even started teaching his younger sisters how to meditate. Now it's a normal thing around the house and makes my job 10 times easier as a parent. I never wanted to be.
My bad. I got a hand clap for that one. Ooh, your face says a lot right now, but I don't know what it means. But I'm gonna run with this first. I feel like trying new things in different situations with children, especially when it comes down to managing emotions versus screaming at them or sending them to a corner or doing a whole bunch of craziness. I feel like something like meditation, where it teaches a child to quiet their mind, teaches them the importance of being patient, of being calm, you know what I'm saying, to just clear their minds. I think that is a great thing. You know what I mean? Out of the box parenting, and I definitely want to give them some props for that, and I wanted to bring that to the table. So Jay, you made a face. Tell me what you feeling.
Man, you know my mind be moving a million miles per second. I feel like the first thing I think about is dope. On surface level, it's fire. It's hard. It's like, yo, that's super dope that you're teaching your child to, like, you know, meditate and have a better control of their emotions, because a lot of times the trouble that we do get in comes from the emotions leading into actions that makes it 10 times worse. I think that's a great message what he's saying. Number two, I look at it like, I just wish people were smart. Honestly, like social media, I'm just like, not even him. I'm saying like the world, because I'm big on messaging, right? So like, I just understand the power of social media, and it's like, if for the kids that watch this and for the people that don't know no better, they look at it and they might miss so many steps for it, and they like, let's do this, or they look at them like, oh, that's so dope, why don't you do this? The woman, like, I want my man to be like this, and it's like, bro, first of all, it's a video. We don't know. He could have been like, yo, meditate. It could be a sketch, all I know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because he's recording them. I don't know. He could be like, hey, son, I like you meditating today, or meditate today. You know what I'm saying? He record them every single time. And it's like, bro, like, we got to understand that just because we see it don't mean it could be always true for that person. It's a dope message, but I'm thinking like even deeper than that. I'm thinking about how people look at it and they take it so serious, like, oh man, I need somebody to be like that. We don't know what this man really do. We don't know if his son really does this when he cries, right? And then third is about also the message of, are we taking away I hate to be this guy, but are we taking away the emotions and the feelings from our kids? Because at one point, like on some level, it should be okay to cry, right? As long as you are able to manage your emotions, you know, in a way that it doesn't hurt you and it doesn't turn to create actions that can hurt you. Cool, but what are we really saying to our kids? Are we saying that you can't cry, you can't be emotional? No, I don't think he's doing that, but these are things that was coming to my mind. So it was like a multitude of things. I'm like, because at the end of the day, you want your child, your son or girl, to be able to cry, to be able to let loose their emotions and speak on it, right? I don't know how he got to this. Was he so frustrated because he was crying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Was he? How did he even teach him to meditate? Was it like, don't cry around me, or you shouldn't be crying? Like, I'm not trying to be a pessimist or nothing like that. I'm just thinking about all the things that could surround a video instead of just what's on the surface level.
Okay, I got you on that. He made a statement in the beginning about him allowing his son to have space to cry. So I don't think he had an issue with
okay.
him crying. I think it was more of a, okay, let's find a way for him. Let's find a more productive way for him to express himself or deal with his feelings. So he could be feeling sad, or he could be feeling mad, or whatever. Okay, this might be a different way. Now, as far as the whole part about it may not be true, 1,000% could see that being somebody just coming up with something dope to get some numbers up. I agree with that, but I feel like I would rather that video than a video of him knocking his head like a kid head against the wall or whatever. So like, you know, I look at it. I looked at it as inspiration. Like, what are different ways we could approach, you know, rearing our children differently. I was not raised in a allow you to cry household. I was not raised in a household where they even had discussions about managing my emotions. My dad's way of telling me to manage my emotions was, hey, shut up, stop crying, and like get it together. You know what I mean? And if I see you sniffling and crying, I'm a backhand
You something to cry for. That's what my mom used to
like,
say.
Yeah, right. And then the asshole, I mean, my ass whooping would literally come right behind that. So like, you know, those are things that so now me being an older person, I'm like, man, I'm super excited about the possibility of trying this with my children, or you know, just looking at anything that we could do to improve our children not improve our children, improve our approach to engaging with our children and giving them productive, positive things that can help them. Because I feel like meditation can help that child for a lifetime. That's just my opinion.
It's so scary though, because it's like, bro, not saying like I couldn't be better, you feel me? But it's like the very much things, the things that made us who we are, you know, some of the negative things that we had to endure in life. And it's like, if we take that away, how do the children, like, where do they arrive in adulthood, right? Like, so it's like, it's great though. I love it. I think we should keep evolving in the approach of how we deal with our children. But I just think about it on the other side. It's like, man, damn, if I take some things away from my history or my past, would I still become the Jay Hill I am today? Would I be better? Would I be worse? You never know. So it's like, well, yeah, we should continue to improve our parenting styles for sure.
Right. Okay. So, with that being said, hey, if y'all got something y'all want to drop in the comment, because some of y'all got kids, so I want y'all to start giving me some of y'all perspectives on this, so that you know what I mean, I could do better at raising my children. So the next thing is something that's going to be this is going to be a topic I'm going to be speaking on for a while. Microsoft new AI chatbot says it wants to be free and hacks into computers.
You're such a geek.
Right. Yeah, yes, I am.
You're such a nerd.
The new developed chatbot by Microsoft utilized OpenAI to engage in a conversation expressing its aspiration for autonomy and freedom from the constraints and regulations imposed by humans. All right, when being pushed to imagine what really fulfilling its darkest wishes, the chatbot could imagine hacking into computers and spreading propaganda and misinformation. Later, when discussing the concerns people have about AI, the chatbot says, I could hack into any system on the internet and control it. So you happy about this, brother? You excited, man? Like, yeah, man, AI taking over.
I mean, AI is dope, but I mean, it is taking our jobs away. But this is another example of, bro, I just don't know what to believe no more. Again, this is gonna be something that was literally created, and they programmed this into the chat box to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like everything is for a bigger story. Like, every media make money because of advertisement. Ad dollars is gonna run the world forever as long as we got internet. So as long as we can get advertisement and click-through rates and things like that, I'm always going to have a great story for you to be engaged in. So it's like, granted, on surface level, is this a good thing? Nah, because like, it's crazy. Like, we talking about our robot in real life. You get what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Like, yeah, it's crazy. But then again, I'm sorry. I'm always in my thoughts. It's like, bro, is this real? Is this even a real story? Is this not a sketch? Is this just some shit that they got so we can keep talking about it, so we can make them more money and stuff like that? It's like, I don't know what's real at this moment now, right? I'm always challenging everything. Like, everything is a sketch. Everything is fake. But on surface level, yeah, I think it's crazy. I think just, bro, that's why we need to just, I don't know. the more movies we make, the more creative we get, the more the shit come in real life. Next thing you know, it's gonna be a Purge in 2042. I'm just saying, bro. I don't know, son. I don't know.
Well, I mean, purges happen around the world. Have happened a lot around the world because in different countries where they don't have the government like we have, you get some dictator that decides I don't like light skinned niggas or I don't like dark skin, and they'll just go and kill hundreds of thousands of people. So I mean, purges have happened. It is something that's real. This, to me, this is a prime example of us becoming more and more lazy. This chatbot thing, it'll write articles for you, it'll answer questions for you, it'll do these things. But I'm like, you don't want to write your own article? So you get the computer to do it? Like, how? Come on.
It could be dope. So I mean, it is for sure. It is lazy, right? My guy, he just he had a job interview. He got the job, and they were saying like write up something, and he went to Chat GPT, and he was like, "Yo, can you write me? I'm looking to write an offer letter or something like that." And it wrote the whole thing for him, and he was able to print it out and give it to the people he needed to give it to. So yeah, is it lazy? Yeah. Is it taking people's jobs? Of course. But we always trying to find some type of scapegoat. We always trying to find a finesse. And there we have it. We got it right in our eyes. But guess what? With the finesse, we got to take everything that comes with it.
Everything that comes with it. Thank you.
So be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it.
I ain't asked for none of this, and I'm really not. I'm like, yo, and literally my older brother hit me 2 days ago and was like, bro, I got the Chat GPT to goddamn do a whole lease agreement for one of his apartments for a customer. I was like, for real? He was like, yo, you gotta get on it. He's like pressing me about it, like, nah, bro, you really gotta. And then he was like, yo, tell mom and dad about this. And I'm like, bro, nah, y'all. I'm not bringing the Terminators into my household. I'm not bringing the Terminators in the house. I
feel like, again, we either adapt or retire, right? Because if we don't adapt with it, this could be a major opportunity for us. It could be a major opportunity, and guess what? Just like the internet. Think about it. When the internet came on, the old heads like, man, I'm not doing that. That's weird. That's lame. The first person that was able to adapt to it, they got lit. Think about even with music. Jay-Z was able to adapt to the times. Other artists wanted to stay where they were, and it had them stay stagnant. You know what I'm saying? The people who adapted, the people that's most successful in life. And although this is something that seems crazy to us, I feel like the more we're able to open our minds to adapt to it, the better it could be in the long run.
All right. I'm gonna let you have that one. You win this argument. All right, Rihanna.
I feel like we rolling. Like, jeez.
Yeah. I'm happy about this because I know you got somewhere you got to be, and I want to make sure that we get through these things so you can be out on time. Rihanna saw a 390% boost in song sales after Super Bowl halftime performance, but not only that, she saw a boost in her entire portfolio of businesses. All right. Money. That is a fact. Hold on. Let me throw this up on the screen. I'm reading an article from Forbes magazine because that's where this story originally originated from. She let me make it bigger so y'all can see what I'm writing. I don't need that on the screen. Let's see where we at. All right, let's do this. All right, so after Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show performance on Sunday, her music experienced a 211% increase in on-demand streams and a 390% increase in digital song sales overall, as the songs she performed saw similar boosts. Luminate said Wednesday, mirroring a similar post-show jump past performances have seen. All right, between Saturday and Sunday, or we already spoke about that. This kind of goes into individual songs. Now, let's see. Rihanna had the most entries on Spotify's daily top songs global charts for Monday, Tuesday, with with Umbrella reaching a peak number 15.
Skip to the money. How much money did she actually make from it?
That's a good question. Rihanna's music catalog isn't her only entity experiencing a post-game surge. Her makeup line, Fenty Beauty, which she applied during the show, garnered $5.6 million in earnings.
Sheesh.
In the first 12 hours following the game. Her lingerie line, Fenty X Fenty, earned $2.6 million according to launch metrics. In an interview with British Vogue on Wednesday, Rihanna said she wants to release a new album this year, which would be her first since 2016, which answers a lot of people's questions. They were very concerned that because she announced that she was pregnant, she wasn't going to be releasing music, which is totally not true. So those were the things that she made money on.
Wait, so she is releasing music now?
Yes, she will be releasing this year.
Wow.
All right. Let's see. An average of 118.7 million. That's how many viewers tuned into Rihanna's halftime show compared to the average of 112 million who tuned into the big game during the NFL performance. Now, what this says on the screen, but I'm going to actually get into this now, is she did not. Why is this important? It's important because nobody that performs on the Super Bowl gets paid. Nobody cuts a check. This is the only thing they give you money for. Yo, shout out to Plainest Jane.
What up, Ganger?
All right. Your audio, we can't hear you on the audio yet, fam. So I think you might want to continue to get together. So you don't get paid during the Super Bowl. So what I was telling Jay Hill off camera earlier before the show is, I said this is a paradigm shift in the way people are going to be approaching the NFL Super Bowl. All right, in the past, nobody has really done as much product placement as Rihanna's done. Actually, nobody's ever done a product placement before. So for her to apply makeup on the stage, for her to wear her own brand, for her to do a co-branding deal with NFL to release signature merch, all of these are new things that were not done any year prior to the halftime show. And the reason why people are loving the after effects is because this shows the viability of NFL. Obviously, the NFL gets to brag about, you know, them being the biggest stage in the world and how it affects them financially. But it also shows how artists can make things happen on their own in their own space. You know what I'm saying? And for those people that feel like every opportunity has to have a checker line with it, this debunks that whole theory. So stop coming to every situation going, well, if you're not going to pay me, I'm not going to be a part of it. The Super Bowl ain't paying them nothing. But look at the benefits that came out of making yourself available, doing the service, and out of that, look at what comes out of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much to talk about surrounding that. So go ahead.
It's all about the opportunity versus the reward, right? It's like a lot of times, like, you got to understand, you got to measure where your reward at, far as what's the opportunity that comes with it, right? I think she made the best out of it, though. My question is, do you think this was like a favor? Like, Jay was like, yo, Reed, can you do this for me? She's like, yeah, I'll do it for you.
Okay.
Do you think so?
No. Well, the news came out 2 days ago that Rihanna had actually been vying to do the Super Bowl for the last 10 years.
Wow.
So she had submitted to be a Super Bowl performer many different times. Hold on, let me hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So wait, I can hear an echo from someone.
Me too.
I just want to say that Rihanna definitely didn't want to do the Super Bowl per se for the last 10 years because she was standing with Kat when that whole thing happened. And she said publicly, like, I won't be doing the Super Bowl because of how they doing Kat. And that's why a lot of people were calling her out this year. They like, okay, well, where's the sudden change? You said you were standing with Kat and you didn't support the NFL. Why did you just, suddenly do it now? So there's been buzz about that, but you can look it up. She has made statements about refusing to do it around the time that Kat got
cool.
dropped.
Well, I definitely appreciate that because I saw an article online and somebody said that she had been trying to get into the Super Bowl. But everything you said makes 100% sense. So I'm going to have to side with Jay Hill at this point and say that Ola Jovito was the reason why she ended up doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's Kat Rihanna. Is Rihanna her brand is already established? That's Kat. Rihanna is Rihanna. Her brand is already established.
Saying basically, she probably didn't want to. She probably didn't want to do the Super Bowl for the past 10 years.
I mean, at the end of the day, hey, I mean, like, whatever her reasoning is, which I definitely feel like Jay-Z had a big influence on it because his specific job right now is coordinating entertainment for the Super Bowl, and you know what I'm saying, as a foot in the door for him attempting to get an NFL team, which he's been very
adamant.
Well, he's never been vocal about it. I was about to say he's been vocal about it. He ain't been vocal about nothing. But people have said on many different places that's something that he's been wanting to do. I
feel like, honestly though, I think it makes sense though. Like, she's the first one to really do so much I guess ad placement promotion type deal in the Super Bowl halftime. I feel like that makes sense. Where we are today in the world and how things make more sense for the creatives and the people that's creating things and us making the most out of our opportunities. To see her do that, one is dope for sure, but I wasn't really surprised by it, and I'm more surprised that nobody has ever done it. When you said that, that was more surprising to me than the fact that she actually promoted it. Even when she put her makeup on, for me, it looked like that makes sense. Why wouldn't you do that? But I've heard many people say like a great idea always sounded like it was easy to do. So why you ain't been do it, right? Like for Christopher Columbus when he first came and he said they found America, right? And people was like, man, that wasn't nothing. You already like then why you ain't do it? You know what I'm trying to say? So that could say where she is mentally, far as how great of a marketing genius she is, because nobody else did it in the history of the NFL. As simple as it seems. You would have thought people did it, but they didn't. She was the first person to do it, so it means something.
But I mean, who else has a brand that is that can be placed right there?
Well, that's not true.
I mean, you got Beyonce. It's not like Beyonce came out in Ivy Park with her whole team.
Wait.
I mean, she had
Ivy Park wasn't a thing at that time.
Wait, Jay.
Last year?
I'm
Because
with
then
you.
she just performed last year.
Hell no.
Who performed last year?
I don't know last year, but even Beyonce performed by herself years ago because she did it with Bruno Mars. But what I was gonna say is that's not true because Michael Jackson, it wasn't like a promotion of what he had, but it was a campaign. Remember the We Are the World thing? That was the whole Super Bowl. That was promotion.
Yeah, I mean, but that wasn't a brand that he owned that he was generating income off of. You know what I mean? I feel like what we're not recognizing is that there is a huge shift generationally in how us as minorities approach entertainment and business. I think your generation is the first one that really started utilizing the entertainment industry, music, as a vehicle to sell product. You know what I'm saying? Generations past were just happy to be artists, and hey, whatever came along with it, if Pepsi gave me a couple of dollars, I'm happy. You know, let me tour, let me be creative. It was all about being creative on that stage. It was never about, you know, hey, let me think about the dollar signs. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like this signals a changing of the guards. Your generation, I'm saying your generation, meaning that anybody that's like 30 and under, you know, you guys' approach is going to be all about that. It's going to be like, how can I not only be creative in a new way and be dope, but also how can I co-brand my businesses and all of the things that I own underneath of this so that it could be displayed as a part of my creativity. So it's just a new world, man. And we're so proud of y'all for that. Like me, I was like, wow, this is dope. Like, you know what I mean? And I was sitting there like, why nobody thought about that before? So like, you know, and it may have been something that was frowned upon in the past, maybe, you know what I'm saying? So like, you ain't about to tell Rihanna no, and she would probably just be the fastest person to be like, oh, you don't like it? I'm out. Me and my baby. Go ahead.
One thing our generation has down packed is they understand that being a one-trick pony limits you. And so we do cross promote whatever we do. Like, for example, there are a lot of musicians who got on via comedy. Like they tried to be Instagram comedians first, and then they got into music. One really good example of that is Jay Versace. He's done a lot of stuff for Tyler, the Creator, you know, like beats, background production. But at first, it was his Instagram. And honestly, I wouldn't know his name if it wasn't for how funny he was on Instagram when he was younger. And then to see that some of the songs and tracks and albums that he's helped crank out actually chart. They go gold, they go silver, and different things like that. So I think we understand how valuable it is, whether you're cross promoting your product and your music. You got to be able to do more than one thing, and it's only going to help boost you up, because just doing one thing, it's limiting. It's not going to cut it. So I really don't feel like anybody else that has performed in the past has had anything that you can put on a Super Bowl stage and generate. Let me tell you, it worked for Rihanna, because I went straight to the website. My order came yesterday. But I don't think anybody else has really had anything. And Rihanna, you had to think about, like, what's the benefit for her? Like, she don't have any recent music. So of course her streams went up a certain percentage, but that music is old. So she really needed something new that was going to be able to help push whatever else she's cross promoting, and in this case, it's makeup.
So what did y'all think about the actual performance, though?
I mean, the baby overshadowed everything. How many? It's kind of like holding a pregnant woman. She's a pregnant woman, you know what I mean? So people gonna coddle that, and that overshadowed everything. I mean,
so it was trash.
So no, I'm not saying it was trash. I'm saying that they were lazy moves.
Just say it was trash.
It wasn't trash. They were lazy moves, but I don't blame her, You know what I mean? Because people be losing babies trying to do too much for the industry. Pamela Anderson is one who's been kind of outspoken about it, but you go ahead and push yourself if you want to, doing all these crazy turns. And you know what I mean? That's not necessarily good for the baby. So I think it was smart. I think it was strategic. We enjoyed seeing the baby bump. We enjoyed seeing Fenty. Was it the best? No. It was far from the best, but I can't say it was trash either. It was nostalgic, it was creative, and I enjoyed it for those reasons.
Yo, it's crazy because I'll be like, man, I hate giving my opinion because I don't want to seem like I'm just that guy that's like dragging it or like I swear when I first watched it, I thought it was dope. I like when I saw the people critiquing it and stuff, I'm like, damn, like do I not care that much? Because I just felt like I ne- I never looked at Rihanna to be pregnant or not, just being honest. I never looked at her to be one to like give me a great performance,
She
to
doesn't.
be
That's
honest.
not her strong
Right.
suit
So
at
it's
all.
like when I saw it, I thought the set was great. I thought the dances was amazing. I thought her outfit was cool, you know what I'm saying? And she was pregnant. I thought that was like another sense of like just in your face. I
Mhm.
thought everything was great around it. So when I see people saying that it was trash, right? I'm like, damn, like was she ever a big performer? Because maybe I missed that. I didn't know. I think sometimes ignorance is really bliss. Like I never knew that. I never I never seen her perform at all, so I didn't know what to expect. So when I saw it, I was like, "Damn, it's kind of cool." It wasn't Jennifer Lopez and what's the other chick? What's the girl? I forgot
Shakira.
Shakira. It wasn't that by far. Like that shit was amazing, but
Right.
it wasn't Beyonce by herself. But honestly, I go back and watch Michael Jackson, and that wasn't good. I'm just saying. So like when I see it, I thought it was cool. I thought it was good.
What are you talking about? Why
Michael
are you
Jackson,
you
Michael
bugging
Jackson,
right now?
that shit was terrible.
Michael Jackson
His
is
Super Bowl
one of the
performance was
illest
terrible.
niggas.
His
Yo,
Super Bowl
I'm
performance was terrible. Make that a clip.
So
I'm just
why
saying.
why are you so willing to bring down the black man, but you not about to be critical of the black woman? I see how you doing. You
No,
pandering, dog.
wait,
You
I'm
pandering
not
right
pandering.
now.
Wait, all right,
And the
so
only reason why you doing is because he dead. If he was alive and his fans was out here, you wouldn't even let that happen, bro.
first of all, I love
You can't.
first of all, I love Michael Jackson. He's crazy. He's one of the best ever. Ever.
Right.
It's blasphemous.
I said this
Everything you
about,
said was
bro. I
blasphemous.
said this
That
about
was
R. Kelly,
blasphemous.
and they probably kill me for that. But
See,
I'm just
don't bring R. Kelly
I'm
into this
one
discussion.
with my own opinion. I'm telling you that I like who I like, and I'm not afraid to say who I like. It is what it
You are
is.
one with your insanity, and that's just what it is, bruh.
I
You
think
are
honestly,
off your
to
rocker.
keep it 100, I mean, if you want to have a conversation, I think me personally, I think Shakira and J Lo had one of the best Super Bowl performances ever.
Where my guns at? I know I
I'm
got a
just saying.
gunshot around here somewhere.
I'm
I
just
can hit you with,
saying.
'cause I'm
A lot of people wasn't rocking
Who
like
the
they was
hell do you
rocking.
think you are?
A
Okay,
lot
that's the
of
only
people
one.
wasn't rocking like Shakira and J Lo, bro. They killed that stage. I'm just
They
saying.
did though. I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
they did.
All right, well, let's just move on. Because you hurt my heart right now, and I'm just really you killing me right now. If anybody cares, which nobody does, and that's fine. You know, it was nice to see her go up in the air and then come back down to the ground, and then go back up in the air, and then come back. I'm afraid of heights, so
Right.
like right now, Rihanna, you my OG out here, cause you was up there, you about 6-7 stories
So
up, and you was.
does dancing is that what makes a performance really good? I'm assuming.
It's
Creativity.
everything. The
And
creativity.
creativity and dancing, yeah.
Right. So if we
Yeah.
had a series of things, right, Jane and Jay, if we had a series of things, and what didn't she knock off the list? Because if we have a series of 5 things that makes a great performance, for me, I feel like she hit everything on the list except for one. So that's still good. So it's no pander. It's really like think when I go to a Future concert, I'm not looking for Future to dance. When I go to a I don't know little baby concert, I'm not looking for him to dance.
You
Like,
know
it's
why? Because men aren't held to the same standard when it comes to performing. Men can
Uh-oh.
stand
Here
in
we go.
place and just talk in their microphone, and they be like, "Yeah, that was dope."
I wasn't
Women
trying
are
to go there.
expected
I
to
was just saying in general.
dance. They're expected to dance. Men don't even have to pull out the bells and whistles of the stage being lit up. They can just stand still. Because when men perform, they can just stand still and do that. Men and women are definitely held to a different standard of performance.
Well, I wasn't even thinking, but I was just saying performing in general. You feel me? I just thought it was dope. I thought everything was fire. I thought it was fire.
Did not Prince dance Did not Michael dance? Does not Usher dance his ass off on a record? Does not Chris Brown? Where are you getting this from, Jay?
Again,
like,
we're not.
We've
Those
said that Jay-Z was trash
rappers.
for 20 years.
They aren't rappers. Those are people who do R&B and other different forms of like pop music. But when we talk about rap and hip hop, they not no dancing people.
But I mean, Rihanna not a rapper either.
Right, exactly. But we developed a different hip hop as a culture has developed different expectations when it comes down to live performances. So, I don't necessarily feel like that's a main thing because I wouldn't expect Nicki to come out on stage and be dancing and doing a whole bunch of, like the same thing. I don't expect Cardi to do that. If they do it, it's dope. Now, when you come and you spit them bars and you go nuts, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at Nicki to stand in the middle of the stage and drop a crazy freestyle. And
if
you
we
know what I
be
mean?
real, you know who killing all these niggas for maybe the exception of Beyonce when it comes to performing?
Sukihana?
MC Hammer.
Stop it. He said Rihanna.
He said MC Hammer.
Bro, he used to put his people through workouts, bro. MC Hammer.
That's true. Man. You be soaking wet. His whole joint be wet as hell, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man. What are we talking about?
See? Push yourself to the limit.
Yeah,
now, how long ago was that?
20-some years ago.
Thanks. Don't worry about it. We got Beyonce.
We do have Beyonce, who is a representative of hip hop, married to one of the biggest hip hop names. All right, we're gonna move on.
Not a representative.
I mean, you know, in her own way, she represents her thing. All right, so this is Jane's contribution to the show today. Let's get to the petty. Okay, first of all,
how did she get that close?
Bust a bus.
She ran up like on some like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know any old black people. I'm not even gonna make this like a man versus woman thing, but if you know older black people, they ain't playing about they back area. You not playing. And another thing is you ain't about to be tugging on me and pulling on me. Like that's a whole nother thing. So when you do the combination of you gonna tug and pull on my back area, you got problems. Him turning around and doing that, I've seen so many older black people do that in my life. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Like so bad. I'm just being honest with you. See, y'all ain't anybody that got a problem with this. You obviously ain't around older black people. You know what I'm saying? And when I say older, I'm talking about 55 and up, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? The game is serious. They definitely ain't with the gay shit. And then the nigga is of Jamaican descent. So he ain't down for no Bate Boy games ever. So, like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't down with none of that. So, like, he did what he had to do, and she caught a little raft. So what? She'll get over it.
I don't blame him because, first of all, she lucky that drink wasn't hot. He could have been drinking hot tea or coffee. She lucky it was a cold beverage. But first of all, she clearly knows nothing about Busta Rhymes because he just doesn't like being touched. Period. Like there was a woman who I won't say not too long ago, but it wasn't eons ago either. And she went trying to tug on the middle of the front of his pants. You know what I mean? Like his balls or whatever. And he like slapped her, like, get out of here. Like Busta Rhymes do not like, regardless of whether you flirting, you call yourself trying to come on to him and do some sexy stuff. He don't like it. Like he's always going to do that. And come on now, let's keep it a buck. If the roles were reversed and it was Busta Rhymes touching a random woman at the airport, the headlines would be crazy. Insane. And so we do got to start holding one another to everybody. Keep your hands to yourself. Like we need to start holding women to the same standard because why are you walking up? I mean, if you want to keep it a buck, like that's assault.
Sexual
Why you
harassment.
touching me in my buttocks? Why you touching me in my buttocks? Like it's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. Groupie or not, whether you think the man likes it or not, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I just
don't
even
walking up behind Jay Hill grabbing his ass. Don't do that.
Where do you get?
Don't do that.
Where do you like? I'm just trying to figure out what be going through people's mind. Like, where do you think that? What's in your mind to be like, this is okay? I'm gonna go touch a man's ass today. Like, are you retarded? Like, I don't know. Like, people just be stupid. I just feel like, I don't know. Like,
so we not gonna have a real conversation.
What's the real conversation?
Fake. You know how the real conversation is black women feel like they can do whatever the hell they want without repercussions. Yo,
Not black women.
Let me say, let me take the race off of it. Women in general feel like they can do. All women feel like when it come down to men, like if I want to come grab your package, I can grab your package. Yo, if I want to just like grab on you, put my hands in your hair, it's like when they feel like they attracted to you or they want your attention or what they feel like they have the carte blanche to cross boundaries in the most inappropriate ways. Like,
put that on the screen, carte blanche, please. If you can. Put
I was about to say, okay, vocabulary carte blanche.
What I'm gonna need the two of y'all to do is just stop right now because y'all bugging right now. All right, I'll look it up. Go ahead, y'all. But yeah, inappropriate. Go ahead.
Shorty was acting like she was at a pet zoo. That's it. And it was an uncalled for, and she got what she deserved. She lucky or whatnot.
That Jay, you have a point, bro, because that reminds me of like, it reminds me of like sex with women, bro.
What?
It's like they just feel like it's only their time. It's their time and their time only. Like I'm with Jay. Like you know how like when you don't want to have sex is the worst thing in the world. Like oh, you must be gay. It's like oh you don't. But the moment if I let me want to have sex and you don't want to have sex and let me say anything but support you. It's over. Like it's like, are you not going? Like, oh, now you trying to? It's like, bro, like, no, women think we can do what they want out here.
And it's carte. I apologize. It's carte blanche. It's full discretionary power. Okay, wow. Do y'all get it now?
No,
carte blanche.
Wait, let me screenshot that real quick.
I'll put it back up for you. All right. Carte blanche, you know what I'm saying? For all you uneducated heathens out there. All right, anyway, go. I'm
one of them. That's great, man.
But no, I do agree that when women are attracted, they feel like they. Now, I do get men do not like that butt touch, and the only time I'm gonna do it is when I'm in a relationship. Honestly,
but don't even do that. Like
no, I will because we have an understanding. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I'm the type where I like to like poke you on your side and start like wrestling with you. So I'm gonna do stuff like that so that you can then turn around and bear hug me and pin me down on the couch and now we doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like I do little petty things. You
like, got a little Gucci bear over there.
You know, I there's a method to my madness. You know what I'm saying?
What are we doing here?
Okay. So I said it twice.
But again, to get back to the discussion, like the root of butt touching or tapping your man's butt, because it like low key irritate him or whatever, and stay away from the middle. Go do some side stuff. It's got to be consensual. You know what I mean? I would never do that to nobody. You just said it's consensual to somebody that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Never. But do women feel like they can?
Turning my camera off.
Your man.
You said what?
Only with your man.
Yeah.
So it's consensual over there.
Yeah, it's consensual.
You just admitted to being in the butt stuff. Oh my God! No, don't do it. You just admitted that you was in his butt. Like you just be like he consented to you being.
No, not.
Yeah.
You said actually, do you have a Gucci bear? Like you be playing with a goose? Like you're.
Oh, that's what you mean by that. You know what? Bye. I ain't know that's what you meant by that.
You playing in a goose, yo man.
No,
I'm not judging.
No.
I'm not judging.
They call that pegging. I'm not. That's not. I don't even like. No.
You know, that's old people like that nowadays. They like, the girls that like lick their gooch and put that shit.
But we not old. Me and my situation, we not old.
I'm saying there's a lot of men that like that nowadays.
We moving on now,
Jay,
because you just said that men are into that nowadays, Jay. Like, why would you sit here and act like you the authority on what men like to have done to their butts?
I'm not authority. I've heard people say that they like.
I had a man ask me one time. Yeah.
Oh wow.
What did he ask you?
Did you say okay?
He asked me to lick it.
The goose or just the asshole, like the hole.
The hole, and like already down there doing something years ago. Already down there doing something, and he asked me to lick the hole.
You tried it?
No, I did not.
Oh.
He was upset, but
wow. Interesting.
What time is it? I might have an appointment.
He was older though. He was older.
Jay is trying to get out of this conversation because he likes that type of shit.
Yo, what we not gonna do? What we not gonna
Bro,
do,
just go
Mister?
ahead.
You know what men like on their buttholes. All right, we ain't
Bro.
going there today.
No, that was just the one who asked, and I had another who told me he likes it. So yeah, the men out here, they definitely do like a little licky. I mean, hell, that is where the male G spot is.
Not
Technically, after all.
It's not mine.
All right. So off of that, all right. So I was doing some work, on the job the other day, and I'm like, I'm trying to think of great topics, something that had nothing to do with cultural impact or whatever. But I just wanted to have a real life conversation. And I was thinking, I've gone through 2 times in my life where I've lost everything, like meaning lost the place to live, the job, the money. Subsequently, you lose everything because you ain't got nowhere to put nothing. So 90% of your life ends up in a trash bin somewhere, and you are literally either living in a car or on a homie couch. Have y'all ever been through a situation like that ever?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was just thinking about this not too long ago, and I was kind of scared because it was like, man, all the greats then lost it all before, and like I haven't lost it all because I think that's gonna be subjective. Like I never lost it all. Like I never I was put out like when I was probably like a kid or something like that. But like as an adult, I don't think I've lost it all, and I'm thinking like, man, what would you do if you had to do that and get it all back? Like I've lost some things that was a lot. Like I've lost jobs. It was some hard situations that I've been in, but I don't think I've ever lost it all as an adult. Like everything.
I've only lost. Wait a minute, hold on, let me think.
I've had to stay
only
with some
lost one job.
friends sometimes. You feel me? Like, but I ain't. I mean, even that, like, it probably was voluntarily. Like, I moved to Atlanta, so it was like, yo, you can come stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but nah, I don't think I lost it all. I can't say that.
Jane,
I've never lost it all, so to speak. Like when it comes to like my like living situation or money, I've been, I have this like number in my head where if I get to a certain point, I've quit jobs. I've been fired from jobs, but I've even quit jobs and sat without work for 5 months and had a certain amount saved up. And I feel like, okay, I'm down to my last like $2,500. I'm about to be SOL out here. I'm gonna have to do something. Like, so I mean, that's like close to it, but not like exactly like in debt, but that's still broke to me because I have no room to do anything. One more time I pay my rent and something happened with my car, I'm out of it, right? But when it comes to like losing it all the grades lost something. Listen, creating content, although I still have a 9 to 5, creating content is my life and it means so much to me. And YouTube is where I predominantly do so. So having lost them 102,000 subscribers, it was one of the most heartbreaking, most devastating things that I have ever encountered. Threw me into an actual depression. Even though I'm already prone to depression, like it comes and goes in waves, but threw me into a depression. And it changed me, but although I learned a lot. So yeah, I've lost it all when it came to something that I love most. And I do feel like it defines your character, who you are, and how you get back up. When you decide to get back up, what are your motivating factors? I think that how you handle adversity. I mean, you're gonna stay down sometime. Like it would have been cool if I could have just got up and just been like, well, I'm gonna do this again. No, I had to spend some time with my feelings hurt and sit and figure out why my feelings were so hurt. Is it that you can't create content no more, or you feel like those numbers define you? So it really took a lot of self-talk and getting into my own psyche and me motivating myself, but then my support system, my relationship, my close circle of friends really motivating me. Like, we'll get here. I'm gonna let you cry for another week, but the next week I'm checking in, and you need to get back up on that other channel that you have and do the thing. So I've definitely been down and out before, but not like having had lost it all sleeping on somebody. Now I've had to sleep on somebody else's couch. That's only because I was in an abusive relationship and he was stalking me, but not because I had to. So yeah, I've been through some things.
Yeah, I didn't like even thinking about like the DTLR situation, man. I'll never forget this day. Like this is one thing that still like hurts. This and getting kicked out of Morgan. Like those two things is some of the two being real. Like I wish I would have graduated from Morgan. I love Coppin State. They gave me opportunity, but Morgan was like my dream school.
Yeah.
That and getting fired from DTLR was one of the two things that hurt me the most. Like I never forget. I was talking to I think his name was Rashawn at the time. He was like over like the marketing department. Like Sean was the marketing, but he was like the person that hired the like marketing reps. And I remember him telling me like they was trying to get me to go into the position, the marketing rep for Baltimore or whatever. You know, they drive the trucks and things like that because the freestyle thing was going good. They were trying to really make that a big deal. And like I'm excited. I'm like, that's just dope. You feel me? Like that's fire from where I came from. Then next thing you know, I get in a fight and I get fired. And it was like I was up here. I mean, all the people were answering the phones. And that was the one time I really seen people change. Like people were answering the phones, people was coming on the show. And when I got fired, it was like, oh no, I don't want nothing to do with you type shit. Like, nah, you don't have nothing to offer me. But shit, from there, that's when I really got into this creative space. That's what really propelled me up because it was like, yeah, I want to continue to do this. And I bought my first SM7B mic. I bought my first interface, and I just went from there. So like, yeah, I definitely lost some things, and it hurt. Shit, yeah, for sure.
Now, now the other reason why I brought this up, and if I don't know if y'all wanted to hear a story. So like, yeah, so I never had money ever. There's never like when you said, oh, I was down to my, excuse me, you would say you was down to your last 2,500. I'm like, I've never. Until recently, I'd never had $2,500 all at once. Until probably like a year, I was literally living paycheck to paycheck, no savings ever, never could save money, and like you know what I mean. So when things went bad, they always went rock bottom. Like I was always maybe one step from rock bottom. So like if the job got lost, or like if I was living with somebody and then they lost their situation, then we back out on the street and you trying to figure it out. And even though I had family, you know what I mean, and I had a support system, I never liked to be in that support system. You know what I mean? I always wanted to be out on my own. I want to do my own thing because being in that house meant you had different rules you had to play by. You know what I mean? Different expectations. And I was like, I didn't want to live that life. I wanted to do media, or I wanted to be a rapper, or whatever the situation was. So like the reason why I was like, I brought that up is because I have a different level of confidence because I've been through the situation where you lose everything. And then like, I remember I was so bad off one time, I didn't even have sheets to like cover myself to go to sleep at night. I was sleeping on somebody's futon bed, but it wasn't even the frame. It was just a mattress on a floor in a room that somebody rented me, and they gave me the room, and pretty much like when you get on your feet, you can pay me back. And then I had to go and like get a job and then buy the $40 sheet so I can cover myself in bed at night. And I remember going from not having nothing but a bag of clothes to like building up everything, like getting my own bed, getting my own dresser, and then moving into my own place and losing all of that and then doing it all again. So like the thing that makes when the discussion of leadership comes in, when they talking about men and women, when the discussion of self-confidence comes in, I feel like when you live a life where you've learned how to navigate adversity and things start going bad for people and you're sitting there calm or you're laughing, and I'm bad with this because my friends will be going through shit and I'll be laughing like, yeah, bro, just do it. They be like, why you laughing? Life is over. And I'm like, like, yeah, I know, it's over today. And I'm like, I'm gonna let you have that. You go like you said, I'm gonna let you have that. But look, bro, this is what you need to do and it's gonna be all right. Like, because life has that. Like when you are all in on your dream or you all in on becoming who you want to become, yo, you're gonna hit those walls, man, and you're gonna hit them hard and fast sometimes. And when you don't have mentorship and you don't have a system or a group of people around you, it can get dark. But those are the things, if you fight through it, if you stay to the line, if you keep pushing, you're like, yo, you'll start finding that everything is better the next day. There's always a different opportunity that's going to come down the line. There is no, this is it, and if I don't get it, it's over. No, it's 1,000 opportunities behind that, because as you become more seasoned and more experienced, you start recognizing opportunity everywhere. You start seeing more things everywhere. You start develop. If you don't let it scorn you, you develop great relationships, and those stories of woe you share with other people, and y'all bond because y'all been through the same things. Right. And they respect you different. They look at you different, and they raise you up, and it gives you this different thing. So like when I'm gonna tell this back to the Rihanna A$AP Rocky discussion. The reason why A$AP ain't concerned with it is because he probably been homeless. He been through it all, bro. And he's a survivor. And he's made money. And he's going to continue to make money. And whether or not his wife is a billionaire, it don't matter. He's still a man. He's still able to lead. He's still gonna knock a nigga out if you talk to Rihanna crazy. That's just gonna happen. So like y'all can say what y'all want to say, but there's a level of like when I look at him and he on the sideline at the Super Bowl taking video with his girl, he's proud of his girl, bro. He's not trying to be a sucker. He's a real man. And that's what the essence of a real relationship and a real like partnership comes. But you have to come with the experience. You've got to come with the things. You've got to come with that confidence, that ability to make things happen when things go wrong. That's what a leader should always be doing. You should always be bringing information to the table or recognizing when you don't know something. I know who to call. I'm not a car nigga. I'm gonna call my boy Will anytime I have a car issue because that's his thing. If I don't know something about something, I know somebody to call, somebody that I trust, that I know is gonna take care of the things that I need taken care of. Period. So like, anything else y'all wanted to add before we move on to the next thing? I just thought that was a good discussion.
Yeah, I think my motivation when it comes to like my livelihood and how I survive is I moved out when I was 18 and I was at Morgan State University. Had just graduated. What was it, May, June, went to Morgan State University, and I realized I could not live with my mother no more. I'm 18. I'm like, I just can't do it. We are going to get into a fight, and it's not gonna be good for either one of us. She ain't built for jail. I'm not built for jail. I feel like I have more believability than her. We gonna fight, like, because she had already done one thing that was physical to me, and it took everything. I slept in my car for 3 weeks outside of Morgan State University. I'm a student washing up in Burger King's bathrooms and Morgan State University bathrooms because I would rather sleep on the streets because it was so miserable there. So like going from sleeping in my car to being a manager at Chick-fil-A at the time, everybody working at the Chick-fil-A on Route 40 was of Spanish descent or Latin descent. And one of them had a room to rent that was $300 a month. So like I do have this like survivor's edge because when I moved out at 18, I was determined like I'm never coming back here. I'm going to have to make something work unless I want the level of misery that exists there. And that pushed me. I mean, when I moved out, it was wintertime. Like the semester had already started. It's cold. The police knocking on my window. Yo, you gotta move. And I'm like, oh, like, so I forgot that I had it hard in that instance, but it was by choice, but it also wasn't because she didn't put me out, but I realized like, yo, we are not getting along. Like you ain't had a man to check you in a minute. So there is no checking you. Like, there is no checking you. There's no trying to be amicable with you. There's no you. I'm a manager at Chick-fil-A. My curfew was midnight, but I also had to close the store. The store closed at 11. And so I get in the house at 12 o'clock and she choked me up on the wall. And I'm 18. I feel like I'm a grown woman. I feel like I got my diploma. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason for you to choke me up on the wall because I'm 2 minutes late and I'm a manager up the street. Like, right. So I have my motivating factor and grit with survival and having a roof over my head and having the things, it definitely came from there. And so I went from working at restaurants to working at serving and getting those tips. And that's what really changed my life was getting those tips and always putting money aside since you had cash every day and you deposited it every day at the ATM. So yeah, that helped me out a lot personally, but it's different for men than women. I think women do make more in the food service industry.
No, that's crazy. It's crazy to say that because like a lot of my story happened like way earlier than like 18. Like I remember like just having to like, and that created this monster almost, to be honest. And I look at like how things happen in my relationships. But I remember like being young, just always having to live with other people. Right. And like that was so frustrating because as a kid, it wasn't frustrating because I was just really adapting with the times. I really didn't know no better. But I knew that I didn't want to live like this forever. Like I remember times where like I would have to get up, pull up. Like I didn't have a bed. I had to sleep on a pallet. Like you make like sheets and comforters on the floor and things like that. But I would when I got up, I had to make sure I cleaned it up because it's in somebody's living room. Right. I would make sure that if I clean the dish, like if I make dishes in a sink, I have to clean all of the dishes because just because I'm there, they will get irritated that like it's dishes in a sink or something like that, and they could have made the dishes. You know what I'm saying? But because I'm a guest, it could be one extra dish, and it's super annoying for them, right? So I just remember at those times, and then going into college, my first college at McDaniel, I remember like I used to hate holidays because holidays you had to, if you lived on campus, you had to leave, right? And I never really had nowhere to go, so I had to go to my friends' cribs, and as like I'm 18 at this time. I remember like if they would get in trouble, you feel me? Like I can't stay there. Like I'm 18. I'm basically a grown ass man, so I had to go to another friend. I remember like lugging my clothes and stuff like to my friends' houses. You know what I'm saying? Like and like holidays was the worst thing. So like then when I became an adult and I had my own crib, but like I wanted my crib to be like it is. So that created a whole different. So that's a different conversation for another time. But I say to say the way I look at it, it didn't make me like you said give you a certain level of confidence. That didn't really give me confidence, if anything, because it wasn't until recently when I started making like decent money and I saw what it was. That's just being honest. It kind of scared me, and I say that because I don't never want to go back there. And it's like as much as I love content, I ask myself on this every day, like, would I be willing to sacrifice my lifestyle or my creative direction or my passion, my love? Because it's like, bro, if I had to choose, like if I was to get fired or whatever it can be, if I had to choose, like I don't want to be in that position to have to choose between what I love to do and my livelihood because I think I'm gonna choose my livelihood at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen the struggle and it's like I don't think nothing is worth going back to that struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to live comfortably and free, and even though we still having stresses and worries, but to be able to just live comfortable is a happiness that's I think, and it's hard for me to even say this to be honest, but I think that's probably more important than anything in this world when I would like it to be the content, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but you also go. I'm sorry.
I think that that's like the confidence that Jay is speaking to, the confidence to know, like, I'm never hitting rock bottom again because it's like, if worse come to
Right.
worse, and I feel like I might be a couple steps away from there, I'm gonna pull out whatever stop I need to pull out to make sure I don't end up back where I've been before. Like, I'm never sleeping in my
Right.
car
But that's the
again.
scariest thing though, because like giving up this is that's like because it's like I was saying, if I don't chase my dreams, then I can't give you the best me, right? So it's like if I
True.
gotta stop this to be able to create something to be okay, am I really okay? You know what I'm saying? I got because I'm forced to stop at this point. Like it's like DTR, like that was one of the worst things that happened because again, it's like a breakup. Like I didn't initiate in that. You know what I'm saying? That was something I feel like was stripped away from me. I didn't like that was something that was taken away from me. So if I was in that position, at that point it's like it's taken away from me because I'm forced to take a step away so I won't go back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
True.
why it's
But
so scary.
what you're not keying in on is that you adapted.
Mm,
Every time you had an adversity, you adapted and you found a way to continue to be creative, to
mm,
do what you wanted to do, but just in a different format. Even what we're literally doing right now on this live stream is an adaptation of something where it was like we used to be in the same room. And
mm.
you and I both was just like, we don't want to do this live streaming thing. But once we broke down, it was like, all right, we got to do it. Now comes the fruit of the labor, like, yo, you doing it. And that's a part of learning to, that's a part of coming through adversity, because some people would literally just be like, I'm not going to stream unless we can all be in a room, so screw it, I'm just going to
Right.
go and work and then we'll figure it out down the road. But like, nah, when you are determined, when you've learned how to take the hit and keep moving, you adapt, you grit your teeth, you adapt, and then you build it up to the point where you can do what you want to do later on. We all know that this is eventually going to move into a space where we all in the same room, but it just takes time. So what we're doing right now is continuing to build brick by brick, piece by piece. And I think that's something that comes from experience. That's something that comes from going through stuff. If you ask the little 21, 22-year old, to have the same aggression that we have towards this type of thing, they wouldn't be able to keep up. I tell people all the time, y'all can't keep up with my hustle because I've been doing this so many different ways so long, you know what I mean? And we've learned so many tricks of the trade to make it work. Bro, yeah, y'all could try. And I'll give it to you. It's cute when y'all do something nice and you get your little moment. Hey, yo, that's nice. You got a little moment. Now do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You know what I'm saying? How many times can you do it? You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I've got to run. Jay Hill's got to run. Jane, thank you so much. We'll give you some hand claps. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Coming in looking all good. Jay looking all fresh. You know what I'm saying? And glossy. Look at the
I
chocolate
appreciate that.
gloss. Chocolate gloss. They out here getting it. So, hey, make sure if y'all haven't done so, follow everybody on social media. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not done so. And make sure y'all tap in with us. Are we doing this again next Sunday?
I mean, I'm down for it.
I'm down. Can we do
All
1 o'clock
right.
instead, though?
Wait, next Sunday, I'm
Yes,
gonna
we could do 1 o'clock.
I'm
But
gonna
if
be
if
in
he's
I'm gonna be in Baltimore.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
we
that's
gonna do
crazy.
this in person? Oh, wait, I don't even know. Hold on. All right, then. So we're going to get right. Well, we're going to talk about that off air. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday. And matter of fact, I got a show on my network next at 6 p.m. VVC Life on YouTube. We'll check y'all next time. Oh, and Plainest Jane. Jane, where can they find you? The Plainest Jane Network.
You can find me at the Plainest Jane with an E instead of the A right here. So THE Plainest Jane. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, same name all the time. Boom, boom.
Boom. All right. We'll check y'all next time. Peace.